Hi, how you doing?
Lovely to see you again for season
You
two.
too, you too.
I just watched the first 7 episodes and I, need all the answers. But first, I will just ask, starting with Nell. Obviously, everything changed for Leanne when she found out what really happened to baby Jericho.
Yeah.
So, at the start of season 2, how differently does she view the Turners now? How does that affect her relationship with them?
Yeah, I think it takes a bit of a 180. I mean, originally, she saw the Turners as her chance at this real family, at this new family, and Dorothy was the perfect mother. And yeah, and then when we come back for season 2, that whole facade of this perfect family has just crumbled for Leanne. And she doesn't only see them as who they are, which is just people, but she sort of villainized Dorothy now, and can't compute how this thing that she thought was so perfect can be so flawed, and it causes a real shift in the dynamics. And yeah, the whole season is you see this change between Dorothy and Leanne, and they really fluctuate, those two. They're so complicated, and it's really fun to watch them sort of unravel and then maybe find their way back to each other again, hopefully.
Oh, hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Us on a lighter note, Julian has the relationship with Natalie that we see some glimpses of, also
Mhm.
more glimpses of in season 2. Can you talk a little bit about how that relationship affects him and maybe how differently they view things like faith?
Yeah, I mean they're kind of a very kind of opposite couple, really. Julian is this very cynical skeptic and kind of refuses a lot of the kind of new age kind of theories, and obviously Natalie is a big part in that world. So yeah, they are kind of quite a mismatch. And I think, I mean, Julian all throughout this series, he's going. I mean, he's a man on the edge. He's someone who's, I think in this season particularly, I think because there's that whole new dynamic of Dorothy now seeing the doll as a doll, and she's a lot harder to control. The whole situation is harder to control, and I mean, all these people, they should be grieving, and they're doing anything they can not to grieve, and it's coming out in a lot of different ways. And with Julian, he does start to kind of boil over, and we kind of see this kind of gradual kind of madness kind of reveal itself. So it's been fun kind of tracking that journey with him.
Yeah. For both of you, speaking of things boiling over, this season really gets us out of the claustrophobic house, if you will. And yet we still have that sense of like everything pressing in on you. So what is it like acting in all these different other locations, with new people being introduced?
I mean, for me, I don't want to give away anything because I think I'm about to, but I kind of don't. I kind of stay in the house the most out of everyone in season 2. I won't tell you why, but I didn't get to do that. There was actually one location that I got to go to, but which was a nice day because it was really sunny that day. But I'm terrified of giving a spoiler. Rupert, you talk. I stay in the house most of the time.
Yeah, I think what we learned is the house has got so many different kind of new elements to it. It's kind of this growing kind of organism almost. It's like is a character in its own. But yeah, I mean, a few times we do. I mean, we don't actually step out. We never leave the house. We only ever see these kind of other places through
other lenses, if you will.
Yeah, like devices.
In the house. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of. I think the whole story, the world is opening and everything's kind of ramping up. So we do see a lot more, but it's still a very contained, quite intimate space to be working in. But yeah, it's nice to kind of see this kind of the world outside of the house for sure.
Well, thank you guys so much. I can't wait for everyone to watch season 2.